Stuck in a show hole? Let your boy Summertime Ego take care of it for you. And let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone. It is I, the Dumble whose door is always open. Gandalf without the gray or the white because I'm all black. Jordan LaForge captaining this enterprise, and Professor Flex Savior of the Flexmen. I am Left Eye Ego. And hey, we know it's that time of year again. All of your summer and springtime shows have just about wrapped. It's family vacation time because it's the middle of July. And for sports fans, either the NBA Finals were over a month ago and we're not quite there when it comes to football season, and it's kind of the All Star break for baseball. So, with all that going on, I know it's the dog days of summer, and if you're particularly into watching television, whether it be anything from your drama, your crime, your comedies, things like that, you've pretty much watched all those shows, and that can lead to what we call a show hole, which pretty much means, hey, I've watched all the shows from my current season that I'm watching, and I don't know where to go next. And so Shiro, the wife, and I run into this quite a bit. And so I thought it'd be fun to just let you know of five shows that I actually found very fun and intriguing and are actually worth a watch. Now, these shows came out between maybe 2019 and the present, and they all have at least one season under their belts. The one that I recommended currently, I think the most seasons it has is maybe three or four on there. And for each one, I'm going to tell you what category it's in, whether it's a drama, comedy, or a crime. And I'll also let you know which network is showing it. I know that some of these platforms you can cross stream it on there where you can sail the high seas, if you know what I'm saying. But I'll at least tell you where they can be found if you have the app and you already are paying for the description or for the subscription. I'm sorry. So first off, I'm gonna go with it's kind of going to go it's going to be crime, then drama, and then comedy. That's usually how this year and I get into these shows, so that's kind of the way in which we watch them. So the first show that I've actually got up is Joe Pickett. Now this show is actually got two seasons in on it, and you can find it on Paramount Plus. It's actually in the vein of being a crime slash drama. So the show revolves around a guy named Joe Pickett. He is a game warden in a small town in Wyoming. And so, on first glance, you're thinking, what is this? Why would I want to watch a show about a game warden that's out in the woods, in the forest all day, dealing with animals? I know because it's exactly what I thought. After the first episode, I was really hooked. Um, the main actor that we have on this one is named Michael Dorman, and he actually plays a really good mix of a guy that you has a simmering temper, but you don't know what that temper is going to look like when it's unleashed. One surprising casting choice that I'd never seen in a drama, much less a crime drama before, was David Allen Greer. You guys know David Allen Greer from In Living Color, in Boomerang from the 80s. Really more of a comedic actor, but he really showcased his acting chops in this show. It's got about two seasons, and I would actually say that the second season that's being out currently is actually a lot better than the first season. I know that for some shows, sometimes you can't recreate that magic of the first season, but I believe that they're actually shaping up to outdo the season from the year before. Next up, we've got Poker Face. So this one has one season and it's out on Peacock. The main actress for this is Natasha Lyonne or Lion. I believe she was in Orange is the New Black, the TV show, as well as Russian Doll. That was the Netflix limited series. I will say this. Say what you will about Rian Johnson with how he directed and did The Last Jedi, but this is actually his creation, and it was actually really good. The story revolves around the titular character, not actually the titular character, but Natasha Lyonne's character, Charlie Kale. She works at a casino when there's an event that happens that forces her on the run. Now, Charlie's character actually has I don't know if you want to call it something that leads itself to being her more of a savant, or if it's just something that she can just sense or something she's learned to differentiate. But she can actually tell when you're lying. Now, I know that it might sound like it's, hey, this sounds like a strong woman agenda. She knows when you're lying, so she can figure out how things go. And it's actually not really like that. She or their character makes a lot of mistakes throughout this first season because, she's on the run for this reason and she can't always tell the reason for the lie. She can just tell that you're lying. They had some guest stars. Adrian Brody was on an episode. Lil Hel Rowley was in one episode as well. And so it's almost like Scooby Doo with sort of the comedy of errors that aren't funny, but it's still got this underlying mystery that I want to say. And the best part about it is every episode is a new mystery to be solved while she travels across the country. So it was actually a really good niche pick. I know that Shiro and I finished the entire series in maybe a day and a half or 2 days. So it's actually worth a check. And again, it's on a Peacock. What do we have next? This was actually one of the most surprising shows that the wife and I found, and we binged this literally the day it came out. It's The Bear, and it's on Hulu. It just finished its second season this year, and man, this show really blew me away. It's kind of in the mold of a drama or a dark comedy, I'll say. It actually stars Jeremy Allen White as the character Carmen or Carmi Brizado. And you might know the name Jeremy Allen White if you watch Shameless, because believe his name was Lip. I didn't really watch the show. My Shiro liked it, loved it, watched the show. So when she saw him, she said it's worth a shot. And by God, we binged this thing the day it came out. We watched every episode until we were finished, and we could not get enough of it. Uh, the story mainly revolves around Jeremy Allen White's character Carmen or Carmi coming back to his native Chicago after his brother's recent death, and he winds up having to take over for his brother's restaurant, The Bear. Think of it kind of like if you were in Philly. Basically, he owned like a place for cheesesteaks. It was that kind of restaurant, and so Carmi coming from this high culinary industry where he was working in New York to going back to his brother's restaurant, he's trying to almost marry what he's learned with what is in his brother's restaurant. And if you've worked in any aspect of the restaurant business, whether it's fast food at McDonald's like me, or if you worked at a restaurant like either Chili's or Applebee's like Shiro, the jokes make sense. The type of people that work in this restaurant makes sense. They mix a lot of the dark humor, which you almost have to have working in the food industry, into this show, and it is amazing. Second season actually did a great job of showing you character progression so that the character you knew from season one was still there, but hey, I'm getting better at what I'm doing, or I'm learning, or I'm evolving. So you definitely should check that out on Hulu. So kind of getting into the actual comedies that Shiro and I actually love as well. What We Do in the Shadows. This was a great show we found on Hulu. It's got about 4 seasons, I believe, so far. It came out in 2019, but it is kind of like if you were shown Interview with a Vampire and you tried to mash that with The Office. It is absolutely hilarious. The thing that I have a trouble with Shiro is getting her to watch movies kind of or shows within the fantasy realm, especially if there's some comedy in it. So this I didn't know if she would like, but I've never heard her laugh so loudly at some of the jokes that are out here. It's kind of that The Office and Parks and Recreation dry humor with the actual ambiance kind of Interview with the Vampire. The characters starring in this would include Kaivan Novak, who plays Nandor the Relentless, Matt Berry as Laszlo. I believe he was in the IT Crowd. You've actually got Harvey Guillen as Guillermo, so absolutely hilarious, and Natasha Demetrio as Natcha. Uh, One of our favorite characters is Mark Pruskus. He plays Colin Robinson, who is an energy vampire. So they talk about traditional vampires that go around sucking the blood out of humans, but there's also a different kind of vampire, which is an energy vampire, who is basically a person that's so dull, so bored, he seems to just drain your life force from you until you're basically taking a nap. That's the Colin Robinson character. He is hilarious in an unintentionally intentional way. That's the best that I can describe it. But it is absolute hilarity that ensues with this show. But it's a great time and pretty much a short watch. That's pretty much a 30-minute show as well. So you've got to check that out if you get a chance. Last but certainly not least is the Righteous Gemstones. I told Shiro the minute I read just the synopsis, I said, these are the kind of churches that I went to when I was a kid. And this, for the most part, is pretty spot on in their depiction of the evangelical church in the South. And it pretty much is a hilarious comedic all-star cast on here. You got Adam Devine as Kelvin Gemstone, the youngest brother that's trying to be hip and cool in the youth pastory way. You've got Danny McBride, who plays Jesse Gemstone, kind of the oldest son and wants to be the heir apparent to his father, Dr. Eli Gemstone, played by John Goodman. And there's sister Judy Gemstone, played by Edie Patterson. And so you're wind up seeing this huge family known as the Gemstone family in the South, and there's this huge Pentecostal church family, and kind of the ins and outs of what they have to go through to maintain this kind of church empire. Now it's on HBO Max, and I believe it's got its third season out now, but just the comedic timing of everyone involved, even the overarching plot that they have for each season was actually really intriguing enough to pull you in and keep you there, but not by being stagnant in the next season. There might be a slight holdover from the previous season, but they're right into, hey, next season arc involves this. And I will tell you this, the group that Kelvin Gemstone or Adam Levine's character hangs out with in season two, I swear to God, that is a real group.
I want to be a warrior for the Lord.
Well, then you might be a perfect fit for the God Squad.
Now, they don't actually look like that, but if you look up the Power Team in the 90s, it is exactly like that. It blew my mind that the person that created this actually put this in, which was, Danny McBride. The fact that Danny McBride knew this means he knew exactly what he was talking about when he put this group in from season two. And so there you have it, guys. Those are my top five recommendations for if you are in a show hole. If you've got any additional ones that you've come across that in the last few years that have at least a full season or 2 or 3 seasons that you want to share, put it in the comments. Let me know what you're watching and what you guys really like for when you're in a show hole. But for now, E.G.O, guys, out.